All right, greetings and salutations, everyone. Welcome to the Crypto Truth, where I give you the truth as I see it. So, America Marshall just had her. I guess she was just talking talking about the progress of Holo. The main purpose, I guess, of the video was really to explain why they moved from Q2 to Q3. Um, I don't know. I don't know how many people were really frustrated about that. I know I wasn't. I don't know. I know that there are a lot of people who invested in the hot token that are frustrated and were mad, or some people who really don't understand the project was really frustrated and mad about and moving from Q2 to Q3. I don't really understand why they felt like they had to explain in great detail as to why they moved from Q2 to Q3. Uh, I don't know. Something must have, in my personal opinion, something must have rubbed somebody the wrong way as far as how they operate. But I don't know. So, just to, I'm not going to do an overview. You guys can go on the Holo Network and, kind of look over what she stated. There was a couple things that were brought to my attention. And I'm going to go over the main thing first. The very first thing, I did put in a question to ask a question. And once again, that question was not answered. Matter of fact, that question, like some of the other questions that was asked, could have been like, hey, we'll answer that later. Well, we're not going to answer that now. No, it was just completely ignored. Now, on a normal basis, you guys know how often I have been doing this. You guys know what type of questions I ask. And I really ask logical, educated questions, right? So it's not like I'm like when moon, when, launch, all of these different things. I'm wondering, hey, exactly when I ask a question, I have a reasoning. But no, my question was literally ignored completely. Not even brought up, not even ignored. Now, out of all the time that I've been making videos and showing up to these AMAs, and I ask very, very good questions, not one. And I've been keeping track because you guys know I always make a review after this. Not one of my questions that I have either put on, I think they had X where they sent a link where you can ask questions. I have asked all of these questions, and every single time I get no answers back. Now, it has literally, you know what? I'm not mad. Every company, look, I know how the world works. Every company, every organization just don't want to recognize certain people or don't even care about what the hell's going on or what they're doing. And I get like I'm not like an important person. I'm not like a some educated guy that has done all these research methodologies and have my doctorates in certain things. But I can guarantee you that I'm not stupid and I'm not ignorant as to to understanding when you're purposely not answering questions to certain individuals. And for me not to have one question answered, well, that's a bit of slight against me. But you know what? I just, some people just, or companies or organizations, don't want to, how should I say this? Communicate with people like myself. And if you're already going to that direction about, oh, it's because I'm black, it's not. At least I don't think so. I don't assume that. But hey, you know what? You do your thing. I just think it's something different. Anyway, my point is that my question was uh, in the United States, because hot is not really available in the United States, and any major exchanges. And my question was, when will those who want to participate in the United States, will they have to purchase hollow fuel directly, or will they purchase hot, or will they be able to purchase hot before the launch? Because the launch is coming up and everyone's talking about all of this swapping. Well, I'm sorry, but how are a lot of people in the US supposed to participate in the swap or participate in actually paying for hosting if they can't even purchase hot in the first place. So I really don't, how should I say this? I really don't understand um, why they're, how should I say this? I understand from a legal standpoint, right? So from a legal standpoint, um, they can't say certain things, but you can at least say your intent. Now, last I heard, unless it changed, last I heard is they prefer for hot to be on exchanges before it comes on exchanges in the U.S. But I believe they're attempting to try not to have hot and hollow fuel on exchanges at the same time, especially not early. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and therefore it brought the question: hey, you know what? If it's not available in the U.S., will people who want to participate purchase actually have to purchase hollow fuel? So and obviously you can always trade hollow fuel, right? So just because it's not 1-to-1 doesn't necessarily mean you can't buy a bunch of hollow fuel and switch it over to hot or exchange it. Because if hollow fuel is on exchanges, now you can exchange it to hot. You can sell hollow fuel for anything else. So it makes it a little bit complicated. I really don't understand the continuous um, ignoring of my questions. Um, they brought up Weave. That was another thing. Slightly familiar with the project, and I do understand that there are certain human beings in this world that we all like and we don't want to deal with. I can tell you right now, from my personal experience, this is just me. Everybody, you know what? Everybody has people that rubs you a certain way, and you're like, I don't want to deal with them and different things like that. How the Holochain organization, Holo organization, and I know they don't care about this, but how they are run rubs me the wrong way. Multiple ways. How they communicate rubs me the wrong way. The technology is great. I think there are a lot of good people. Paul Diaz is, I feel, is a very I think a very mellow guy. I really like him. Matthew Schutte, I think he's one of those guys. Well, I have an extreme religious philosophical background, and like he's a guy that I know for a fact that I can sit down and have a conversation with. And it would be a good conversation, not a conversation of judgment with the organization, because I always separate people from the company or organization that they work for, right? There are still a lot of questions because right now the Holo organization and the Holochain organization are pretty much one, right? And then they're not one entities. They're separate entities, but it's all the same people, right? And so I'm starting to see a pattern of um, the way they communicate and the way they're getting things done. If you feel like you've learned, like, oh my god, this is I learned something new from this progress update, you really haven't been paying attention. Now, she did bring up some Mary Camacho did bring up some interesting things, right? As far as, the updates and with the, what is it called, uh not review, god, oh, my mind is going blank right now. This is right after, by the way, you guys know that. And I can't even think of but anyway, they stated that they have a lot of I want to say reviews, but I know that's not the right word. God, it's gonna kill me. Anyway, they're gonna have a lot of forgot what it's, man, my brain is a brain fart. When they actually review um, hollow fuel, hot, all of these different things. Oh my god, what is it? What is it? And she said that they're making changes according to it. But you guys, oh my god, you guys know what I'm talking about because I'm about to go insane here. Sorry about that. So she did bring up some things, but it really wasn't anything major. And honestly, I think for some people, like it wasn't anything new or big, or it just wasn't. Um, I don't know. So going back to what I was stating before, I feel. Um, I still feel like there is a lot going on. I think there's a lot that they don't want to say, and I understand that from a legal standpoint. Um, Judging about, especially here in the United States, judging which direction the what do you call those people? The what the president which way, which direction the politicians are going to go as far as these what do you call it? Wow, laws and regulations, man, it's getting bad. But anyway, I just finished. I think there's a lot that's going on behind the scenes. As I always say, I try to stay fair when I'm evaluating companies and organizations. But there are still a lot of questions. It still rubs a lot of people the wrong way. Um, if you're in the United States, I'm sorry. Uh, I don't even know what to say. I personally believe that there's a lot. I personally believe that there's a lot of people who want to be involved in within Holochain and Holo, um, but either they don't know how to complicate the project's complicated, and they don't really have everything. What's the word? They don't really have a smooth way of explaining how things are going to work. Which in the crypto space it really don't matter because there's a lot of stuff that's not working or is possibly working or is not even explained, and they don't care. Like people only care about the money, right? If their coin or token goes up so far, they don't really care about the technology. They just care about, hey, Solana's the best thing, the bee's knees, and it's gonna go to $800. Does it shut down? Does it do this? Or what is the technology? Is it run on blockchain? All this stuff they don't care as long as they're making money. So at the end of the day, I know there's a lot of people who are like that, and that's slightly understandable because that's how the world works. But when you're trying to make a new internet or create a new internet, I do think it's important to get all of the things that you need to get done right in the first place. So it's definitely apparent that there's a lot of lawyers behind the scenes. But once again, as I stated before, this whole update thing was a whole lot of nothing. In my personal opinion, they said that they're going to come up with AMAs after that. I'm actually surprised that they actually did look on the screen and actually I think Nathan was helping out with that and setting aside questions, or basically they pretty much answered all the questions except for like a couple of them in mine. The only question I didn't, the only question that I did ask. So they even answered some weird question about, comparison to hetera and different things like that. And she stated, I'm not going to answer that right now, or we can't answer that. And you know what? That's personally, I think that's more acceptable than just ignoring. Whew. Oh, you know what? I know exactly why that rubs me the wrong way. 1 second, you guys. Sorry. I know exactly why that rubs me the wrong way. So for any of you guys that want to leave the channel right now, go ahead. Just got like a real quick short story. When I was in high school, I was very, very shy of girls. Right, my junior senior year, I was extremely, extremely shy. Pretty much all my life, I was shy of girls. But I specifically remember my junior year, a specific time. One of the girls that I liked, we were friends. You know, I was in the friend zone, but she left the school and then came back. And I was hanging out with her all the time and different things like that. And like we were just really good friends. So go to the library, and this is like over time. Like this isn't like out of nowhere. This is like over a 3 year span, and I told her, I said, "Hey, I need to talk to you, right?" So I took her to the library. I invited her to the library and we talked and everything. And I said, "Hey, you know what?" And I brought up that I really liked her and that that I loved her and wanted to ask her out and different things like that. And man, when I tell you, being ignored, this was one of the things. She nodded her head and said she had to go to class, and then she left. No answer, no nothing. And it wasn't until 7 to 8 years. No, no, no. It's been longer than that. 15? Anyway, it was a long time. When, excuse me, sorry, kind of, okay. It was a long time. um, and I asked, we somehow connected on Facebook, and I asked her, I said, "Hey, um, why did you ignore me?" Like, this is years later, so it wasn't like I was stalking her, like, or anything like that. This is like 16, 15, 16 years later. And she was like, "We were really good friends, and I didn't know what to say. You caught me off guard, and I said nothing because I didn't want to hurt your feelings." And I'm like, that kind of hurt worse. uh, it kind of hurt worse. So it was like, I was like, no, yeah. My feelings got really hurt, and I was dealing with a whole lot of emotional things at home. I didn't really have a very stable home life, and so it's one of those things to where it's like, can I get now? Obviously, I'm not the kid that I was before. I'm very, very different. Very vocal. I don't have any problems communicating with women or anything like that anymore. Like I'm almost like I was almost like Raj, but actually I had a lot of friends that were girls and stuff like that. But and then obviously there's my prom date, which I eventually was in my first marriage. But I was like, it's kind of like Raj. Like really shy girls could barely speak. It was almost that bad. Not quite as bad, but anyway, my point is that going back. And thank you for listening to that short story. But going back, and when you're communicating, communication works multiple ways. And if you're only communicating in one direction, then you kind of feel slighted. Like, hey, at least say something, at least tell me something, at least acknowledge. And when that does not happen, then you start thinking and you start having, all these kind of thoughts in your head, like, oh my God, if certain people are being communicated with or exalted or acknowledged, that tells me that that person, that individual, or that company leans that direction in their thought process. And I'm going to tell you guys this. Um, it's very easy to be fooled in this world. I get it. Humans are humans. But for me personally, there are some people who are just nasty people, and people who I know for a fact. There are, matter of fact, I don't think this. I know this. There are a number of people that is in the Holochain community, probably in the Holochain organization, that I would not get along with, at all. At all, at all, at all. We just disagree fundamentally, philosophically. I'm more of a person to where I don't really care about being a hypocrite. I just want people to see me for who I am, and then that's it. Like, that's it. If you don't like me, you don't like me. If you ask questions, I will answer all questions. I will communicate and talk, but that's about it. So, But anyway, before I get too distracted, I had some friends that I'm doing things with online. But look, you guys, I just want to let you guys know. I still think that Holochain is going in Holochain and Holo are going in the right direction. I just don't feel. I don't understand the whole purpose or reasoning for this update. It just seemed like it could have been like written out. But hey, you know what? Teach their own. If you guys watch it and you actually had questions, um, please watch the video and then ask me the questions that you will ask them. I'm really curious about how I will answer the question and then what's going to happen later. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later. As I always say, do your own research, do your own research, do your own research. And last but not least, above all else, you guys, stay safe out there, okay? Bye.